you know something drastically wrong, you can't move anything, you got blood coming over the place. I hate to say it, but I thought I was dying. Nobody can seem to know what's wrong with me.
Hey guys, I'm Siobhan, a second-year internal medicine resident. Today is going to be a slightly different type of vlog. So in the past, I've shown you what it's like to be in the hospital, admitting patients, what my crazy days are like. But you kind of don't get to see the real exciting part of medicine, which is building relationships with patients and hearing their stories. That's the main reason I went into medicine to begin with. So today is going to be special. We're actually on our way driving to meet a man who has a really rare disease and it almost took his life. So we're going to hear his story. Meet Doug, a strong, active man who worked in the sheriff's department. He had no medical conditions and really rarely even needed to see the doctor. Then, with no warning, he just started feeling unwell.
I was having rotating pain in my shoulders, my abdomen, my legs, just strange stuff that I'd never experienced before. So I went to the doctor and he did a bunch of blood tests.
But they all came back normal. His blood counts, electrolytes, thyroid, B12, even blood cultures to check for a brewing infection. But he kept feeling worse, so he kept going back to the doctor.
You know, I started thinking, well, maybe it's in his head. And I think him knowing that was really frustrating for him to see me kind of doubting it after a while, you know.
By the time I got to about the third month, I was experiencing a lot more pain in my muscles, and I was taking ibuprofen, and it seemed to cure it. Like it went away. So I thought it can't be that bad. Probably 12 to 18 ibuprofen a day.
Okay, that is not recommended.
No. So that carried on, and it just kept getting worse.
He had a cough that wouldn't resolve, large nosebleeds, and eventually he started actually coughing up blood.
And then watching him try to crawl up the stairs with our daughter behind him, you know, I knew something was wrong.
I was pretty well in tears, to be honest with you. I was so frustrated with it.
Yet again, Doug ends up going back to his doctor.
And I just said, "Doctor, I don't care about your blood tests. Something's drastically wrong, and I think I'm dying from this."
At that point, Doug's family doctor called a rheumatologist who agreed to see Doug the same day. After hearing Doug's story, the rheumatologist sent him directly to the hospital for a CT scan to rule out a pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in the lung that can cause hemoptysis, which means that you're coughing up blood. He also ordered a whole host of specialized blood tests looking for autoimmune causes.
Tuesday morning, he called me up, the rheumatologist, and said, "Doug, I think you know what you have. You got Wegener's." And he said, "Don't go on the internet and look at it."
Had you ever heard of?
No, I had no idea.
So what did you do next?
Well, of course, I went on the internet. Yeah. And it is kind of scary when you look at it.
Yeah. So what we're talking about here, Wegener's, the other name for that is granulomatosis with polyangiitis. So these days we're calling it GPA. Apparently Wegener was a Nazi, and so now we don't call that, even though all over the internet you still see Wegener's everywhere.
Yeah.
GPA is a rare autoimmune disease. Normally, the body makes antibodies to attack foreign things like bacteria. But in autoimmune diseases, a person has antibodies that attack their own body. In the case of GPA, the antibodies are attacking small vessels, and the most common organs to be involved are lungs, kidneys, and airways, so your ears, nose, sinus, mouth.
So anyway, the next day we went in to see him, Dot and I, and he mentioned all these medications.
So Doug was started on an immunosuppressant called prednisone and cyclophosphamide. The improvement was immediate, and his symptoms just melted away with the first dose of prednisone. Eventually, though, he was switched over to azathioprine, a medication with far fewer side effects than cyclophosphamide. Then, after a few years of doing well, he was slowly tapered down off the azathioprine altogether.
And I think I came off them a little too quick. I had this strange thing happening again. 2 a.m, I woke up and I had a severe pain in my chest, like somebody stuck a knife in it. And I thought I was having a heart attack. I woke up Dot and she called the ambulance. But apparently I had a 5 centimeter nodule on my right lung here.
At the hospital, doctors confirmed that the pain was caused by the nodule in his lung, not from the heart. The most likely cause for this nodule was a flare of his GPA, but a bronchoscopy was done to rule out any infection or cancer. So a camera was put into his lungs and a little piece was taken to make sure they knew exactly what it was. Then, once again, he was restarted on these incredibly strong medications to suppress his overactive immune system and control his disease.
And apparently, like, cyclophosphamide is a heavy hitter, right?
Yeah.
And from what I understand, there's only a certain amount you're supposed to have in your lifetime. So honestly, like, if a relapse ever happened again,
Scary. Yeah. That's very scary to think. What will you do for treatments and?
well, you hope that whatever option they have to use works, right?
Yeah.
My life has changed, but I've gotten used to it. I can still walk 8 kilometers, which I like to do when I can, but 2 hours later, I'm done. I get very tired easily. I sort of have this thing where I try to control the things I can control, and that's all I can do. I can't control the outcome of this. I'm hoping my doctor can.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
It was so great to be able to chat.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
Yeah,
See ya.
See ya.
So we just got home and it's just been such a great day, and I want to really thank Doug and Dot for opening up their home, opening up themselves to telling their story here. It's such a reminder that it can be a big challenge to diagnose rare conditions like this, and also to see someone who's so positive and so resilient through the process is really inspirational. So if you felt something or learned something from this video, share it, because I really believe that we can make a more caring and empathetic world if we start to understand what everyone is going through, the challenges, what they're overcoming, and we can be stronger for it. Anyway, maybe I'm just being idealistic, but I actually believe this. If you liked this video, you might actually like this other story time about a young man who lost part of his spleen because of this crazy diagnostic dilemma, and I'll take you through it. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of those good things, and otherwise I'll be chatting with you guys next week. So, bye for now.